Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So the great thing about the interwebs these days is we get to learn about people's investment decisions sometimes before we actually see the end result. Case in point today, Michael Burry, who has a gigantic short position, so to speak, betting against Tesla stock. Now, I just want to be really clear here. Nobody can ever predict the future of the stock market, myself included, Michael included, so anything could happen. This could turn out to be the most profitable decision of Michael's investment career. But if I were to give a probability to that outcome, I'd say we'd be looking somewhere in the 0.000000000% range. Possible, but highly, highly improbable. In this video, we're going to discuss Michael's short position on Tesla stock, which apparently is worth close to $500 million, according to CNBC. And we're going to look through Michael's reasoning as to why he believes this is a smart investment decision. And I hate to rain on your parade, but spoiler alert, this is not going to end well for Michael. He seems to have bought into the FUD. Just a great example of how a smart person can make extremely dumb decisions and reason poorly, despite the fact that in the past they've actually reasoned very well and done extremely well in investing. And I'm not here to shit on Michael personally. I don't have an issue with the guy, but I do want to look through the reasoning here because we are about to see what appears to be a catastrophic error of judgment based on very poor reasoning and buying into the FUD rather than thinking. So let's get into the video. And by the way, since I know there's a lot of crypto lovers watching and people who like free stuff, it's your lucky day. For a limited time, you can get up to $250 in free crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. It also helps out the channel. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $250 just for opening an account. And if you fund your account with $100, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,600. Unless you don't like free stocks, that is. And if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it. So before we dive into this video, just allow me to set the scene. I personally believe that betting against Elon Musk is one of the dumbest decisions any human being can possibly make. You may disagree. However, my merchandise sales seem to suggest something differently. Second best-selling product of all time, don't bet against Elon, with over 600 units sold. And the number one seller, Tesla stock to the moon, which turned out to be rather prophetic. What a surprise. Of course, this doesn't really mean a whole lot, but I do just want to set the scene of where I'm coming from. Even if you think there's certain conditions that may suggest that betting against Tesla is a good idea, given the fact that there's an overarching idea that Elon's relatively smart, a great executor, great track record, etc., even if you think, you know what, this might be a good short position, it's worth taking a step back and thinking, what's the track record like for this guy? How much pain can he endure? What does his ability to execute look like? Has he done multiple impossible things? Is he smarter than I am? Does his company harbor an army of the world's best engineers? Has betting against Elon ever been a good idea in the past? And so on. These are useful questions to ask. So with the scene set, let's see how Michael plans to bury himself. And get it? Bury, cause bitch, my life. Yeah, so let's just pretend that didn't happen. Michael Burry of The Big Short reveals a $530 million bet against Tesla. Remember that t-shirt there, don't bet against Elon? Well, this guy's doing exactly that. Not going to end well. And by the way, just notice how this is trending number 1 on CNBC. I've had a bunch of people DMing me this morning, want to hear my thoughts and opinions on this. Obviously, a lot of people following this guy after he slayed it. Famous from The Big Short. If you haven't seen it, dig into it, do your own homework. The point is, lots of people are interested in Michael's big bet against Tesla/Elon. Michael is long puts against over 800,000 shares of Tesla, or about $500 million by the end of the first quarter, according to a filing with the US SEC, also known as Suck Elon's Cock. I forget what their actual name is. Anyway, let's move on. Burry was one of the first investors to call and profit from the subprime mortgage crisis. This is why we all know and care about what he's doing now. He previously mentioned in a tweet that Tesla's reliance on regulatory credits to generate profits. Oh my god, the poor guy is bought into the FUD. He's been listening to Gordon Johnson. That's awkward, isn't it? That Tesla's reliance on regulatory credits to generate profits is also an impediment to the company's long-term prospects. We'll talk more about this in a moment. Famed investor Michael Burry on Monday revealed in a regulatory filing a short position against Tesla worth more than $500 million. Jesus, dude. I gotta give him credit though. Big balls. And I have to say, I really appreciate large testicles. I'm always a big fan of people making big bets if they believe they're right, if they've got a high level of conviction. Whether it works out or not, massive respect. Investors profit from puts when the underlying securities fall in price. As of March 31st, Burry owned 8,001 put contracts with unknown value, strike price, or expiry, according to the filing. So unfortunately, we don't have any metrics to work out where the position's sitting at now. Might be looking good though, to be honest. Given that Tesla's come back plenty in the last month or so, he could actually be well into the green here. Maybe his closer position. If so, well done, sir. Good short-term play. Not a big fan of the reasoning behind it, but could have worked out. Hopefully, Michael has taken advantage of the opportunity to collect at least some of the profits there, because I'm not sure this is going to last too long, especially with Tesla's Q2 just around the corner. Shares of Tesla fell more than 4% on Monday, bringing its month-to-date losses to nearly 20%. And I just want to jump in here. Please let me know in the comments if you guys and girls have been buying this recent dip in Tesla stock. As I've mentioned recently, if I didn't have a gigantic, truly colossal tax bill, I would be loading up with every spare cent. But unfortunately, I can't postpone that any further. Otherwise, I may end up in prison, and then I probably won't be making videos for you guys. Burry, whose firm Scion Asset Management shot to fame by betting against mortgage securities before the 2008 crisis, was depicted in Michael Lewis's book, The Big Short, and the subsequent Oscar-winning movie of the same name. And by the way, great film. Highly recommend you guys watch it if you haven't already. It's fantastic. Tesla has had a turbulent 2021 amid slumping sales in China in April. I just want to jump in here. Let's just ignore the fact that some of the production lines were down for upgrades and maintenance. Yeah, let's just ignore that. Okay, yep, slumping sales in China. Keep the FUD coming, CNBS. And part shortages that have impeded production both in the US and China. Now that is true. Burry previously mentioned in a tweet, which he later deleted, that Tesla's reliance on regulatory credits to generate profits is a red flag. And I just want to point out that the fact that Michael thinks that this is an issue is a red flag because he hasn't done his fucking homework. I've covered this 4 quadrillion times on this channel. It's like, I just don't even want to go there again. If you've never heard me debunk this, let me know in the comments below. Somebody will explain for me. I just can't be bothered. I've said this 4 million times. It just astonishes me that somebody so smart is also simultaneously so dumb. Tesla isn't relying on regulatory credits. They're managing their capital effectively. They're aware that these regulatory credits are coming in. They're spending accordingly. I mean, Jesus, dude, please. As more automakers produce battery electric vehicles of their own, ostensibly fewer will need to purchase environmental regulatory credits, which they have done in order to become compliant with environmental regulations. Besides his Big Short, Burry made a killing from a long GameStop position recently as the Reddit favorite made Wall Street history with its massive short squeeze. Once again, Michael Big Ball Burry doing well on a short-term bet. I've got to congratulate the guy. Total respect. I wouldn't have had the kahunas to do that. I watched the whole thing play out. I thought, you know what, there could be something in this, but I'm steering clear. So credit where it's due, my friend. In the first quarter of 2021, Tesla reported $518 million in sales of regulatory credit, which Elon Musk's company generally receives from government programs to support renewable energy. It has sold these to other automakers, notably FCA, now Stellantis, where they needed credits to offset their own carbon footprint. We've also heard about many other deals between Tesla and other automotive companies as well. Many more to come. Yes, many automotive manufacturers are slowly ramping up the EV production, but still, they're moving too slow. Yes, at some point in the future, Tesla will no longer be selling these regulatory credits, but it's off in the distant future. And simultaneous to that, Tesla continues to improve their profitability, increase their margins, become more capital efficient, and start to see economies of scale and operating leverage. So these two things will cancel each other out. In the fourth quarter of 2020, Tesla's $270 million in net income was enabled by its sale of $401 million in regulatory credits to other automakers. Tesla historically has racked up around $1.6 billion in regulatory energy credits, primarily zero-emission vehicle credits, which helped the company report more than 4 consecutive quarters of profitability, qualifying the automaker for addition to the S&P 500 index. Once again, I just want to take a moment to discuss this. It is true that Tesla has made an absolute killing selling these regulatory credits. But the implications from the fuddy media and the brain-dead short sellers, and by the way, I'm not saying Michael's brain-dead, but many of the people shorting Tesla are, let's be honest. There's a severe lack of thinking and understanding. If you, as Tesla, know which particular agreements you have with other companies that aren't necessarily disclosed, and you know you're going to have X billion dollars coming in this financial year, you can decide to invest some of that capital in further expansion, thus taking a leaf out of the Amazon playbook and appearing to make absolutely no profits or very minimal profits for an extended period of time because, wait for it, you're investing heavily in growth, expansion, increasing your scale, improving your manufacturing techniques, driving your costs down, R&D, and more. This is just one of those points where some people just intellectually just get stuck and they cannot see past regulatory credits. Oh yeah, they're going to go away. Oh my God, Tesla can't make money without them. It's just so embarrassing. If you think a little bit deeper, you start to realize it's a little bit more complicated and nuanced than that. Tesla isn't reliant on regulatory credits. They're cognizant of the availability of regulatory credits over the short and medium term and thinking, well, we've got this money coming in. Do we want to show a gigantic short-term profit to appease some of the investors who believe that this is extremely important? Or do we instead want to reward our long-term investors by investing heavily in growing our business and scaling our production, driving our costs down, inventing new technologies, new techniques, etc., and playing the long game, which of course is in alignment with our mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, not to accelerate our short-term profits for short-sighted investors who are also sometimes short on brain cells, I'm not going to lie. Tesla is currently delayed in producing and delivering its updated versions of its high-end sedan and SUV, the Model S and X, very true. And it also delayed its commercial production of its custom-designed 4680 battery cells for use in forthcoming vehicles, including the Cybertruck and Tesla Semi. Now, can somebody please let me know in the comments where the fuck this came from? I haven't heard this. Does anyone know? Has Tesla officially confirmed that they're delayed in producing their 4680 cells? Anyone at all, please? I mean, maybe I've missed this. It's possible. I don't know where this came from, CNBS. I mean, I honestly don't know. Where's the source? Where? I don't understand. This is a strange article. Meanwhile, Musk's electric vehicle venture is facing regulatory scrutiny in China and the US, with high-profile vehicle crashes leading to negative publicity and investigations by vehicle safety authorities in both nations. Oh, here we go. More FUD. You know what? Let's have a look at the author or authors of this article. Oh no, we got Laura. Yeah, I'm not even going to say anything there. If you guys want to see what Laura thinks of Tesla and Elon in general, have a sniff around her Twitter feed. Could be a bit of an agenda here. Many believe that CEO Musk's tweets about Bitcoin and Dogecoin have also contributed to the volatility in Tesla's stock. I don't really think so, to be honest. I think overall growth stocks at the moment are just getting absolutely hammered. This isn't isolated to Tesla. The whole market's going through a very turbulent time. Musk has tens of millions of followers on Twitter. Over 50 million to be precise. Musk, a proponent of cryptocurrency generally, announced last week that Tesla was indefinitely suspending the acceptance of Bitcoin as payment for cars, saying he was concerned about the rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions. Man, I've been poking the bear on this one so much the last week. It's hilarious. By the way, guys, I've lost so many subscribers over this whole Bitcoin Elon thing. It's hilarious. I love it. Zero fucks given. I'm going to keep poking the bear. And by the way, just to be clear, because there were a few legitimately brain dead morons in the comments yesterday claiming that I've changed my mind on Bitcoin. I want to be really clear, even though I repeated it 3 or 4 times in yesterday's video. I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin over the short to medium term. Just want to make sure that that's very clear, because some people just maybe saying it 4 times in 2 videos will be enough. Tesla shares have dropped nearly 20% in 2021 after surging a whopping 740% in 2020. How's that for some perspective, right? We wind the clock back a little bit more than 5 months and suddenly we still see that Tesla's up a shit ton. Now I really hope for the sake of Michael's bank account and his reputation as an investor that he's no longer short Tesla stock via these puts. However, I don't know. We don't have any information. In either case, I really don't think it's a wise thing to be short Tesla stock going into their Q2 results. They're going to blow everything away and break every record Tesla's ever had. Profitability, revenue, sales, delivery, all of it. Every record is going to be shattered in Tesla's Q2. And I just want to be really clear. These short-term bets can sometimes pay off, even if your reasoning is completely wrong. Why is that? Well, over the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. Sentiment, FUD in the media, etc. can really have an impact on a stock price. Over the long term, as the saying goes, the stock market is a weighing machine. But as we saw in the period of 2014 to 2019, where Tesla stock literally traded sideways. In fact, there were periods in 2019 where you could buy Tesla stock for 25% less than it was in 2014, despite growing revenues, blah, 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 blah. That's just one example of how over the short term, and yes, 5 years in terms of investment horizon is short term. Anything less than that isn't even investing, in my opinion. It's gambling. Over the short term, anything can happen. Some investors may get the sense that they know what they're doing, they were right, even if their reasoning was completely wrong. I'm hopeful that Michael has had one of those situations where his reasoning was completely wrong, but he doesn't end up completely bankrupting himself because he's exited the position. But I really don't know. We'll only find out after Q2. But as I said at the start of the video, it is never a wise idea to bet against Elon Musk. It could work out. There's certainly a chance that you might do well. But if I was a betting man, I would not be taking that bet. In fact, I'd rather be on the other side of it, which I currently am, long Tesla stock. Now, of course, there's going to be a few short-term thinkers in the comments ready to talk, oh, you're a moron, you lost so much money, you should short Tesla stock, rah, 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 rah. I'm sure some of Michael's fanboys and fangirls will be in the comments as well. Like I said, I hope he's done well from this trade. I just completely disagree with the reasoning behind it. I think it's one of the dumbest things you can possibly do to be short Tesla stock. That's not to say you can't make money shorting Tesla stock. Once again, I want to drive that point home. You can, but that's more a result of good luck than good management. You can be right for the wrong reasons. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. What possible reasons, legitimate reasons, could people have for being short Tesla stock currently? They're growing production at a staggering rate, faster than any company of their scale has ever done before manufacturing complex machines. They're continuously driving their costs down and innovating like we've never seen before within the automotive industry. Got gigacasting, all sorts of stuff, octavalve, heat pump. I could keep going. You guys have heard the whole spiel before. They're selling every vehicle they make, and they have been for literally over a decade. You can infer from recent information that Tesla's already sold out all of their Q2 production about 1 month into the quarter. They have about 3 times as much demand as they can currently meet at today's current prices with today's current performance and features, which remember, prices keep coming down, features and functionality keep going up, so that's going to continue to improve over time. They're led by one of the world's smartest men and by far and away the world's greatest executor of all time. They've got the world's best engineer, an army of them. They're eating the lunch of the entire legacy automotive industry. The numbers, which unfortunately a lot of these idiots shorting Tesla haven't actually looked at, the numbers very clearly show Tesla's economies of scale, operating leverage, profitability margins, everything's getting better in terms of financial metrics. Everything. Tesla has such compelling products that they don't even need to advertise. They've laid the groundwork for an insanely profitable robo-taxi business. They're penetrating the energy markets. They've got compelling products, got an amazing roadmap. They're the world's leading experts in computer vision. I mean, I could literally keep going. What possible reason can anybody have, grounded in logic, from first principles, not reasoning by analogy? What possible reason could anyone have for being short Tesla stock other than they hope that some of the FUD in the media can drive the price down? And this is a real serious question, guys. Please, if you've got any reasons at all, legitimate reasons why anyone might short Tesla that actually makes sense, please let me know in the comments below. I can't think of any, but maybe I'm just an idiot. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all.